Welcome to my channel, The Spoiler Zone, your ultimate destination for in-depth analysis and captivating breakdowns of your favorite film. Alert: this video contains spoilers. Dune, titled on-screen as Dune, Part 1, is a 2021 American epic science fiction film directed and co-produced by Denis Villeneuve, who co-wrote the screenplay with Jon Spaihts and Eric Roth. It is the first of a two-part adaptation of the 1965 novel of the same name by Frank Herbert. Set in the distant future, the film follows Paul Atreides as his family, the noble House Atreides, is thrust into a war for the deadly and inhospitable desert planet Arrakis. The ensemble cast includes Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Stephen McKinley Henderson, Zendaya, Chong Chen, Sharon Duncan Brewster, Charlotte Rampling, Jason Momoa, and Javier Bardem. The film is the third adaptation of Dune, following David Lynch's 1984 film and John Harrison's 2000 television miniseries. After an unsuccessful attempt by Paramount Pictures to produce a new adaptation, Legendary Pictures acquired the Dune film and television rights in 2016, with Villeneuve signing on as director in February 2017. Production contracts were secured only for the first film, relying on its success before a sequel would be produced. Principal photography took place from March to July 2019 at locations including Budapest, Jordan, Norway, and Abu Dhabi. Dune was a box office success, grossing $406 million on a $165 million budget, making it the 10th highest-grossing film of 2021. It was well received by critics and audiences, with praise for Villeneuve's direction, screenplay, production values, Hans Zimmer's musical score, cinematography, and managing to retain core elements from the source material. The film won 6 awards at the 94th Academy Awards and was nominated in 4 other categories, in addition to receiving numerous other accolades. The continuation, Dune, Part 2, was released on March 1, 2024. The film starts in the distant future. Duke Leto Atreides, ruler of the planet Caladan, is assigned by the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV to replace Baron Vladimir Harkonnen as the fiefholder of Arrakis, a harsh desert planet and the sole source of spice, a valuable psychotropic substance that imparts heightened vitality and awareness. Spice is also key to interstellar travel, giving Spacing Guild navigators the ability to guide starships to traverse space instantaneously and safely. Emperor Shaddam, fearful of Leto's rising power, plots for House Harkonnen to retake Arrakis, secretly aided by his Sardaukar troops, and destroy House Atreides. Leto is suspicious of the Emperor but weighs the risks against the power of controlling Arrakis and making an alliance with its mysterious natives, the Freemen. Leto's concubine, Lady Jessica, is an acolyte of the Bene Gesserit, an exclusive sisterhood whose members possess advanced physical and mental abilities. As part of a centuries-long breeding program, they instructed her to bear a daughter whose son would become the Kwisatz Haderach, a Bene Gesserit and messianic superbeing with the clairvoyance necessary to guide humanity to a better future. Jessica disobeyed and bore a son, Paul, who is trained by Leto's aides, Duncan Idaho, Gurney Halleck, the Suk Dr. Wellington Yu, and the Mentat Thufir Hawat. She teaches him Bene Gesserit disciplines. Paul confides in Jessica and Duncan about troubling visions of the future. The Reverend Mother and Imperial Truthsayer Gaius Helen Mohiam visits Caladan and subjects him to a deadly Gom Jabbar test to assess his humanity and impulse control, which he passes. At a secret meeting on GD Prime, Mohiam insists Baron Harkonnen spare Paul and Jessica in his coup, to which he duplicitously agrees. House Atreides arrives at Arrakeen, the principal stronghold on Arrakis. Duncan's advance party has made contact with the Freemen. The natives revere Paul and Jessica, which she explains is due to the Bene Gesserit sowing beliefs on Arrakis centuries earlier. Leto negotiates with Freeman chieftain Stilgar and meets the imperial judge of the change, Dr. Kynes, a planetologist who lives among the Freemen. Kynes briefs them on the dangers of spice harvesting and the giant, sound-sensitive sandworms which travel under the desert and render unwise the use of protective Holtzman shields. During a flight, they rescue a stranded spice-harvesting crew from a sandworm, and Paul's exposure to the spice triggers intense premonitions. An attempt to assassinate Paul with a hunter-seeker fails. Yu betrays the Atreides and disables Arakin's shields, allowing the Harkonnens and Sardaukar to invade. He incapacitates Leto, planning to exchange him for his wife, who is the Baron's prisoner. Yu compassionately replaces one of Leto's teeth with a poison gas capsule with which the Duke can assassinate the Baron. After the Baron double-crosses and murders Yu, Leto releases the gas, killing himself and the Baron's mentat, Piter de Vries, but the Baron survives. Though the Baron has arranged to have Paul and Jessica drop deep in the desert to die, Yu has left them with a Fremkit with survival supplies. Jessica uses a Bene Gesserit technique called the Voice to overpower and kill their captors. Overnighting in the desert, Paul, surrounded by spice, has visions of a bloody holy war fought across the universe in his name. After conquering Arrakis, Baron Harkonnen appoints his nephew Rabban to oversee the planet and orders him to restart spice production to recoup the invasion's cost. Meanwhile, Duncan and Kynes find Jessica and Paul, who disclose his plan to marry one of Emperor Shaddam's daughters to avert a potential civil war arising from the Emperor's betrayal. However, they are discovered by Sardaukar soldiers armed with a lost gun. Duncan sacrifices himself, enabling Paul and Jessica's escape. Kynes also tries to escape but is caught and mortally wounded, and lures a sandworm to her location to devour herself and the Sardaukar. Deep in the desert, Paul and Jessica encounter Stilgar's Freeman tribe, including Chani, the young woman from Paul's visions. Opposed to Stilgar's lenience towards them, Freeman warrior Jamies challenges Paul to a ritual duel to the death, which Paul wins. Despite Jessica's wishes, Paul joins the Freeman, determined to fulfill his father's goal of allying with them to bring Arrakis peace. What I understand from the movie is that the Dune 2021 sets up the central conflict, introduces key characters and factions, and highlights themes of betrayal, loyalty, and the quest for power. Subscribe and comment for more videos like this, and thank you for watching. I recommend this movie for those who like sci-fi and adventure.